feel like I want a beer.
Go get one. Get some wine, some beer.
I can't do wine. My throat really hurts. Like, I feel like the bubbles would help more than like a dry wine, you know?
This is Byron Lazine and Nicole White, and you are tuned in to episode 72 of The Real Word. I'm just going to make sure it's episode 72. We don't have Ness sitting here. We have Sam back in the house. How many?
And the black table.
How many episodes did you do, Sam?
Probably did like 30 at least.
Yeah, at least.
Oh, really?
Oh, at least.
I thought he would have done more than that. I feel like he did more than half.
Started at 15.
Oh, that's right, because you didn't start from one.
But still, I feel like he did more than
Suave's
half.
been doing it. We're here in our Guilford, Connecticut studio. Usually we do this from our
table.
Niantic, Connecticut studio. We've got the black table. Some people prefer the white table. I know Nicole White. What do you prefer?
Well, so I prefer this location.
You prefer this location.
But I like the white table. I actually feel comfortable in the white room. I feel like I'm like, well, we always are here in the evening too, so it's a completely different time of day and a different feel. And like
this room's gonna give me more color because you got the white wall, the white table, and then we've got tan Nicole. And here I can kind of
it's
blend
just
in a
different.
little bit
Like
more.
the morning, I'm like fresh and clean, and now I feel like I'm like I got pen in my hands.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's just like it's the end of the day shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we wanted to get this particular real word in before next week. Well, I mean, it's going to come out next week, but we really wanted to address. We did episode 71, and then like 4 hours later, we get this email forwarded to us from friends at
about
Remax.
Redfin and the fact that Redfin is trying to do away with buyer's agents.
Exactly, and so that's what we were addressing. That, but we didn't address the Remax Redfin divorce. So racket number one.
We didn't really even talk about the relationship and what kind of consequences this could have. I'm surprised we didn't even go there, but we're back.
We had talked about the relationship in a previous episode.
We had. I'm just saying at this point, like when we were talking about it, we should have known that there was going to be some sort of backlash from Remax after they're saying that they don't want to.
Oh, you mean
have
thinking
agents.
2 steps ahead.
Right.
All right, so racket number one is the Redfin Remax divorce. They are breaking the exclusive partnership that they created only 2 months ago. Nicole, I'll start with you.
Uh-oh.
No? What do you think? You want to do it?
I don't know. What are we talking about?
Emily, what's your thoughts on them breaking the relationship? Let me read a little bit.
Well, I mean, obviously, when you read even the letter that they sent out, it makes complete sense.
We're neither of us are Remax agents, but we do have the letter that was emailed out to Remax from Adam Contos, the CEO of Remax. We're not going to say who forwarded that to us, but we have lots of friends at Remax. It could have literally been anybody. Dear brokers, owners, managers, and agents, as you are aware, last week Redfin announced the introduction of a program that would encourage buyers not to use agents on listings where the seller is represented by Redfin. I don't know if that's totally true because it seems to me that it's Redfin-owned homes that they're doing this on, but the way they worded it in this letter, the seller is represented by Redfin, so I think that's a little off on the Remax CEO. That program goes against every value Remax has had for more than 45 years. I feel very strongly and passionately about that, as does our board of directors and my leadership team. We strongly believe the role of an agent in the transaction for both buyers and sellers is more important than ever, providing professional guidance and protecting the interests of consumers in a large, complex financial transaction. Therefore, we have begun the process of dissolving our exclusive referral agreement with Redfin. He goes on to say some other stuff.
You like cheers.
Oh, I did it.
You did.
I did that.
Not one word. Not one word went wrong. Not one word.
Not one. I've been getting better at reading and talking at the same time.
Yeah, that's great.
Here's where you go to the end. I'm just going to go to the end of this letter. We can actually maybe
post it.
Pop the letter up here, Sam, a little bit.
Sure.
At R4, which is their conference, I'm assuming, we announced our core values more, M-O-R-E,
Ooh.
deliver the max.
That was your word last year.
I know. They stole it from me. Customer obsessed. Do the right thing, and together everybody wins. And then I'll get your take.
Okay.
Here's the big difference. They said customer obsessed, but that's Glenn Kelman's thing from Redfin.
Right.
He goes out there and only talks about customer. Where Remax, by doing this, is drawing the line in the sand by saying,
agent obsessed.
We are actually agent obsessed. We're going to stand by our agent and what we believe in. And they're twisting it, saying they believe in it because it's best for buyers and sellers, where Redfin has a different look on that, obviously. And I do believe for Remax to stay relevant, or any of these really big brokerage brands out there, they have to be agent obsessed first, because if they lose their agents and they're left with all this empty brick and mortar, what do they do then?
Right.
But Redfin's whole thing is, we don't care about agents. We're not building a brand based off of needing to keep agents employed.
Right.
And this is just the tip of the iceberg of what's to come, I believe, for Redfin. If you're an agent, you certainly should look at Redfin as, and I think Tom Ferry said this, the devil, like the worst of the worst when it comes to protecting your profession as a real estate professional. And Gary, to that point, or not Gary, Glenn, rather, Glenn, the CEO of Redfin, to that point, your reviews are terrible, my friend. Your agent to consumer experience has been documented a lot as being not good, right?
Right.
So, okay, maybe you're making it easier for consumers to click a button and search properties, but you're not giving them a good experience, as which you say is your number one priority, being customer obsessed. So two totally different viewpoints, and that created this dissolvement of the partnership. What are your thoughts?
Did you get your hair cut?
I did.
I could tell.
I did.
Looks good.
Thank you. She is the haircut picker-outer. She can pick a haircut out from the crowd.
I can.
Anytime.
So I do think that this is actually not a racket. I think that it was in Remax's best interest to cut ties with Redfin, especially based on sort of what they announced and were pushing. I do think that Remax does need to concentrate on their agents, because that is obviously the engine that keeps them running. So I think the whole thing made sense. I'm certain that the decision was probably made because of I'm certain that poor gentleman that wrote that email got gajillions of emails from agents, which probably initiated the whole divorce to begin with. But I don't think it's a racket.
That's possible.
I think that, yes, I think as most brokers claim that they're customer obsessed, I do think that, which is nice, I do think that their agents are definitely a little bit more top priority. I know our brokerage says that we are the customer. So I don't think it's a racket at all. I think it makes complete sense. It'll be interesting to see sort of what's next for Redfin, where they go, because I actually thought that we thought that this was a great partnership. We thought that there was going to be some purchases happening. We thought there was going to be maybe even some
I thought it was a good
merger. I mean, the whole thing seemed to make sense for Redfin.
I thought it was a good partnership. I think it makes more sense for a company like Remax, or maybe Realogy, whose stock is tanking right now, to go out and buy Redfin, because Redfin hasn't shown their investors in the last 14 years how they're going to be profitable, how they're going to make money. They've never made a dime for their investors. And, Glenn Kelman at T3 a couple of weeks ago was very open about that. They haven't shown how they're going to make money. That's almost 2 decades, right? So maybe it's time for their technology, because that's all they are, is a tech company, to get bought out by a Remax, by a Realogy, by I don't know who else would
It's
buy
interesting though, because I feel like just recently I've been seeing Redfin listings pop up in our neighborhoods now.
I've seen a few too.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Ugly sign though. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with Compass. I just feel like,
how do we go all the way to Compass?
I don't know. I think of signs, and I'm like,
Wow.
and then I have glowing lights, and it's just, if we're talking about signs. Yeah, no, I wasn't overly impressed by Redfin, but I guess I also feel like, if you're doing that type of transaction for your home, like there's not really much you can. I don't know. I don't feel like
Yeah,
it is what it is.
And to Redfin's point, they've only sold 5 total so far of the homes that they own. So this is not a huge number of transactions. It was more of a moral compass point of view, right? Like, we don't believe in it for RE/MAX, which I don't think is a racket. I think they've got to protect their agents.
Of course.
RE/MAX has great agents across the country.
Well, and they're doing some crazy amount of units. I mean, I don't think any manager in any city or town that has agents that are, with RE/MAX want to lose any of them. I mean, I don't think there's one agent that I know of in any of the local RE/MAXs that are doing piddly numbers. Like, they are.
Here's what I'll predict.
They're spitting them out.
You want a prediction? I hate doing predictions because if I'm wrong. But here's what I think Redfin probably has to consider.
You having a problem over there?
Yeah,
Stop touching it.
I do because I feel like I'm sitting up, down.
Well, just pick a spot and.
Well, I'm trying to.
It's like you're so fidgety. Like,
are you all right?
Sit on your hands, maybe. Like, what do you?
No.
Okay.
Only when my hands are cold. I do that all the time when my hands are
Are
cold.
they cold? You cold?
No, right now they're warm. That's why I got them out.
Ow.
Yeah.
We got some
All right.
jazz hands.
Let's wrap up this racket.
Sorry. your
Here's what I
prediction.
do think Redfin should consider doing is what Zillow's doing and what OpCity has proven to work. Okay, you've got an overflow of leads. You don't have good agents because they don't have good reviews, and you don't know where to stick these leads because RE/MAX just bailed on you. You're probably going to end up doing the OpCity model and the Zillow model, figuring out how to get a call center and figuring out how to hand individual agents the leads, not the top end of the brokerage. Although a lot of these brokers like RE/MAX are going to start to push back on it. Certainly there's brokers pushing back on Zillow right now with their new Flex program because they're starting to realize that these big tech companies are going to take the money out of the broker's pocket as well as the agent. They want the broker to share in that. There's more to come on that.
So
That's a
much
little
more to come.
teaser for down the road. So racket number 2. Best places to be a real estate agent in America. This is from our buddy Pat Kenny. Pat, if you're a 5 a.m. call member, you know Pat from Saturdays. If you're not, you should go on 5amcall.com.
Feel good?
Yeah, feeling really good.
Good.
All right, this is from Wallet Hub. Best places to be a real estate agent. And this is how they determined out of 170 U.S. cities where the best places were. They took these 170 cities, they compared them across 19 key indicators of a healthy real estate environment. Our data set ranges from sales per agent to annual median wage for real estate agents to housing market health index. And here, let's go through the list.
It's a lot of words.
That's a lot of words. We're going to link this up. We always link everything up. You're going to have the whole list of the top 170 locations. Seattle, Washington came in number 1. Salem, Oregon. I always mess that one up. Oregon. I think I said it right.
Well, how
Oregon. Gone again.
You can say it however.
Nothing.
It's like
Which one do you like?
Oregon. But
All
it
right.
was the Oregon Trail.
I'm just going to
wasn't
go
it?
with the states, not the specific locations. You got Washington, Oregon, California. That's the top 5.
Colorado.
Denver, Colorado, 6. California, Boston, Mass, 8. D.C., Phoenix, Arizona. That's your top 10. Then you got California, Washington, North Dakota, South Dakota, Arizona, Oregon, California, Washington, Arizona, Georgia, Arizona, Tennessee. Anything on the East Coast? North Carolina, Florida. There's some East Coast.
I think New Haven was 154 of the 170.
Here's what I will say, Wallet Hub. I don't care what 19 key indicators you made. When you have Portland, Maine at 28 and Los Angeles, California at 30, this is a total racket. It makes no sense to me. It's complete bullshit. I'm discounting it based off of that because if you're a good real estate agent, if you've got chops in this game, if you know how to sell, and you're in goddamn LA, you're going to do pretty good.
Yeah, pretty well.
You're going to do really good.
Pretty well. We'll do pretty well.
Or do you think you'll do better in Portland, Maine?
Well, again, it sounds like there's many indicators. So when you're taking them all into consideration, go back to the top again. I'm sorry. What
Seattle.
were the? No. I want to know what the indicators are again. What
Well,
are we
they said
looking at?
they didn't tell you what they were. 19 key indicators of a healthy real estate environment. Our data set ranges from sales per agent to annual median range for real estate agents to housing market health index.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Dude, the top agents, because I don't care. Listen, if you're an agent in the bottom 50%, unsubscribe, unlike. I don't care about you. I'm speaking to the good professionals in this industry. I'm speaking to the top 50% of the agents. I'm speaking to the agents that are full-time, that invest in themselves, that work hard. I'm not speaking to the bottom 50%. So to me, if you're in the top 50% and you're looking at Portland, Maine, or LA, and you're good at what you do, you're going to make a lot more cake in LA, more than the cost of living difference in that Maine to LA. What's your thoughts? What do you think?
I don't know. I think that you don't maybe know enough about Portland, Maine. Because I
don't want to go to Maine.
No, I
Unless somebody wants me to come up and speak for a large fee, I'll drive up there and do that.
Oh my. 5 a.m. call.
5amcall.com.
Anyway, so
a lot of pitching on 72.
There is
here.
a lot of
Go
pitching
ahead.
on 72. So I guess I don't know. I guess there's lots of things you need to take into consideration there, because I also feel like it's sort of like Florida too, right? Obviously the market is really well. They're doing well. You want to
Florida was not until you got into late 20s.
But we're talking about the East Coast here, because I'm thinking about us, like where along the East Coast.
Florida was
be
one of the
here.
higher East Coast.
Even Boston. The only downside to all of that, yes, is that maybe you could actually generate more money in LA, but the competition is much stiffer, I would imagine, right?
But if you're good, you don't focus on the competition.
I hear you. I guess if we're just talking about, I'm going to just pick my body up and move somewhere and you're going to hustle, I get it. But I think that you may have a better opportunity, potentially. This is just speculation.
I get it.
Because I know nothing about the Portland, Maine market either, but I'm certain that there's a reason that it's on there as 28. I mean, they're clearly doing something right.
Some kind of algorithm. Our market's 154.
We're really bad.
154 in our market.
But we're doing it.
You're doing better than us, Maine. All right.
I mean,
Wallet Hub, this is a total
New Haven
racket.
is actually the bottom 50% if we're talking about 50% and who people shouldn't listen to,
Wallet Hub, you're a joke. All right, racket number 3. Amazon $7,000 do-it-yourself home goes viral and sells out immediately. This is an Inman article. The company claims the guest house can be built in 8 hours. Again, it costs $7,000. And we're going to put the picture up right here.
I love it. I mean, it's so fun.
It's a shed.
It is a shed.
This is a shed.
100% a shed. It's a glass shed.
Can you think of a great use for this? Because I can.
What would
if you have a pool and you can't afford a fancy cabana, isn't that like now your little cabana?
It's a fabulous cabana. It's a fabulous anything. I mean, even if I don't have a pool, I'd be hanging out in that thing. You could podcast out of there all day.
Ooh. Sam, could this be a little podcast for us?
It could totally be his little podcast room.
Got some people out there. I could see some people sitting out
on
the
swing.
on
You
the
need
stoop.
like a swing in there. Oh, look, there's a grill. They're doing it. I mean, they did it. $7,000. I mean, it's pretty inexpensive. How big is it? It go down a little bit. It tells you how large they are.
Whoever puts this in their backyard.
172 square feet. So you're talking about like 10 by 15.
Right.
12 by 15. Does that include the outside? What's that outside? I feel like that's like maybe an add-on, because I think just the glass would be that size. No?
I don't know.
The picture's very misleading. I think the picture makes it look bigger than it is.
We need a floor plan.
I definitely need a floor plan.
Do you know what this will become for any parents that are buying this for like their backyard?
Well, it's going to be their children's little escape.
Where they hotbox the living hell out of it with like bongs and shit.
Bongs.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what this would become.
I mean, that's not at all where I thought this conversation was going. We were just thinking that this Amazon house for $7,000 was a racket. I didn't realize it was.
I gotta say, it's probably not a racket
heaven,
because they sold out instantly.
Bongs?
Bongs and just chaos for high schoolers.
Oh, I thought you were talking about for the parents.
No, for the kids.
Turning into a bong room for the parents.
It turns into their
it's
bong
like,
fortress.
What the hell are you talking about?
I don't think bongs are still a thing.
Well, I was gonna say at least like roll a joint.
If
be
bongs
civilized.
If bongs are still a thing, if they're still happening, put that in the comment. If you're still using a bong, just bong it up in the comments.
It up.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
Inman's gonna take us
We're
right off.
We're never ever gonna be doing evening podcasts again.
This isn't a real house. Why are people like pretending like this is a real house? People in America spend money on stupid crap, but you know what? We can't say it's a racket because it's sold out instantly
for $7,000. Again, it is probably cheaper than getting like a Home Depot one. The only thing I wouldn't want to do, it's like those playgrounds that you get for your kids. Oh my God. those are the worst things to
No,
put
just
together.
bring your kids to a playground.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I mean, God, I did it. We did it once when my daughter turned 1, which was 12 years ago, and we've never we've moved and never.
How many
built
times
another
she
one.
use it? She
Mm,
used it?
yeah.
Yeah.
But,
All right. If definitely put bong in the comments.
my
I want to see
Lord.
bong all over the comments.
Bong?
But yeah. But if you're interested in the Remax and Redfin discussion, I'd like to see which side you're on, Remax or Redfin, in the comments, please. And anything else you'd like to chat about, let's connect there in the comments. I'm getting really good about the YouTube comments thanks to Harry Moore. I forget which market Harry's in. Harry, drop your market in the comments too if you see this episode. All right, guys. Thank you. Nicole. Any
Thanks.
parting shots? Any shout outs you want to give? You want to drop anything?
Shout outs. No,
HouseOfSocialMediaBuilt.com. Check that out because she didn't like when the 5am-call.com
No, I think
thing.
it's fabulous. Drop it while it's hot.
Drop it while it's hot.
I mean, do what you got to do, dude.
All right, guys. Keep it real. We'll see you next week.
Bye. Keep it real.